Hola. What is going on? What is going on, man? Everybody's freaking out, running, scrambling. X has been blowing up. People screaming, "We're going to war!" China's embassies telling citizens in Israel to leave the country as soon as possible. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's running, scrambling. Myself situated here. All right, so the breaking news that's going on, everybody's freaking out, man. Not me, but people are freaking out. People are not happy. People are saying that it was irresponsible for Trump to tweet what he tweeted. Even Candace Owens has made some remarks. Oh my gosh. Hey everybody, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, this is for later, because apparently Trump's beefing with Tucker Carlson too. I don't know what's going on there, but crazy situation. Tehran. Look at this. Look how crazy it is right now. Over 10 million people evacuating. It's a city. I don't know if all 10 million are evacuating, but they say it has a population of that many people. And people are trying to get the hell out. Everybody's on the run. Trying to leave. Did you get your draft letter? Yo, I was looking that up. I was literally Googling, like, shit, like, how old am I? Okay, what's the ages? Because, like, yo, am I getting drafted? Who's getting drafted? Right? So this is the tweet that kind of, like, everything just kind of hit the fan. Okay, Trump, or I should say Truth Social, said Iran should signal the deal I told them to sign. Or sign, sorry, should have signed the deal I told them to sign. What a shame and a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. And that started just kind of chaos. Let me see something here too. Problem is, they did have some type of nuclear there previously. But in 2018, May 2018, Trump pulled the U.S. out of, it was called JCPOA, called it the worst deal ever negotiated. Reimposed crippling sanctions on Iran, promised a stronger deal, but no replacement is ever reached. So technically, they're not in some kind of deal. They're not in some type of, nuclear thing. We're just coming in and saying, because a lot of people feel mixed feelings, right? Like some people feel we should not even be involved. That's not our situation. And some people said, well, Israel and we got to be involved and whatever. Some people said we shouldn't be involved like this. It's going to pull us into a war, people getting killed. People literally think this could be a nuke. People are taking like that. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get nuked, but Israel preparing to nuke Tehran. He issued an immediate warning. I thought the post too was kind of like very vague. It's like one of those messages that somebody tells you, like, how you get a message from somebody and they're like, I have to talk to you. There's something really important that happened, but I'll tell you tomorrow. And you just like, what? And that's it. You don't hear from them again. They just fucking disappear. It's like, how can you say something like that? So what does this mean? And he was at this what was it, the G7 Council thing? He was at ordered the National Security Council to be prepared and assembled in the Situation Room as he departs from the G7 summit and will arrive in Washington, D.C. tonight. Thing is, now they're saying, according to CBS News, they're reporting that U.S. President Donald Trump is not leaving the G7 summit in Canada early for discussions about a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. So then what's the urgency? What are we talking about? Somebody here said, did Trump just dupe everyone into believing he was leaving for Washington, D.C. for something urgent? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Everybody's just kind of up in the air. Let's check out what she had to say here. I forgot. She was the former press secretary, right? I forgot her name.
Yes. Well, war in the Middle East is raging as President Trump issues a dire warning. This was just minutes ago. Listen to this quote. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. He added in all caps in his Truth Social post, quote, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, emphasizing a red line he has issued again and again and again. Now, this comes as Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth confirms that defensive capabilities have been moved to the Middle East. We learned from Reuters earlier in the day that was to give the United States, quote, options. And there's dramatic new footage of the conflict that continues to pour in like this moment. Watch this. An Iranian state TV broadcast interrupted by an Israeli airstrike.
آنچه که ملاحظه کردید صدایی که شنیدید فضای غبارآلوده استودیو
The images of war. Well, for more on the latest, let's go to Mike Tobin, who's live in Tel Aviv, Israel. Mike.
And Kaylee, we've got new reports in the last few minutes of massive explosions in Tehran itself, and those reports coming through Iranian media. Meantime, we're standing by to see if multiple threats made by the Iranians of incoming ballistic missiles and drones ever materializes. We even got a warning from Israel's Home Front Command saying that an attack was imminent, but it never materialized. It could very well happen at some point this evening, as the attacks have been a part of every evening since the strikes began, but so far, nothing. Israel has been striking at Iran really relentlessly throughout this process. That strike at Iranian state TV left the building burning. Iranian news agencies report that one woman was killed. Israel did warn civilians before that building was hit. State TV later got back on the air from a backup location. Israel's prime minister has boasted that Iranian air defenses has been degraded to the point that his fighter jets can do whatever they want in the skies over Tehran with minimal threat. Israeli warplanes hit Iranian F-14s while they were still on the ground. Israel also says they struck at some 20 ballistic missiles as they were preparing to launch and took out 1/3 of Iran's missile launchers. Iran has hit back. Some 370 ballistic missiles have been launched at Israel since last Friday, as well as dozens of drones. 8 Israelis were killed yesterday by Iranian strikes. Dozens were injured. Now, following the beating that Iran has endured over the last 4 days, Iran's foreign minister posted on X that his country is ready for de-escalation and a return to the bargaining table. Katie?
Mike, I'm reading these updates as they're coming in, and I see that these explosions in Tehran are described as heavy explosions and air defense activity. This comes, as you see right there on the bottom of the screen, President Trump issued that warning of evacuation in Tehran, echoing what we've heard the Israelis say earlier in the day. What are
That's so crazy, dude. So mass panic and unofficial evacuations. No official evacuation order supposedly was issued, but hundreds of thousands are fleeing after air raid sirens and online warnings. Roads out of Tehran, especially northbound, are gridlocked. Fuel shortages, people abandoning cars, ATMs running dry, no shelter, instructions or government coordination. It's chaos. It's chaos over there, man. Trump posted on Truth Social at 3 a.m. in Tehran time, even though we're on our time. We're not in other countries' time. I'm not gonna acquiesce my tweets to whatever to the other countries or whatever. I'm tweeting on my time. But I can understand too, like that's crazy though. To like imagine everybody just getting up at 3 a.m, just rushing to get the hell out. Nobody really knows exactly what that means. Holy moly. And they're saying so far at least 224 people reportedly died in Iran so far.
What are you hearing on the ground from Israeli officials? Do they expect the U.S. could join in this? As we know, assets have been moved to the Middle East.
Well, there already has been some U.S. involvement in terms of missile interception. I don't think the Israelis expect much more from the Americans at this point, other than support in terms of weaponry and, again, support with those missile interceptions. Kaylee.
Thank you very
much. So check this out, too. Apparently, Benny Johnson posted, breaking the U.S. is projected to take imminent military action against Iran. So this is like a website where people make bets and stuff. And so 67% here voted that they believe that some type of action will take before July. U.S. is projected to take imminent military action. That's what they're predicting and guessing. Everybody's freaking out tonight. Chaos. I pulled up CNN for you guys.
Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran, as Iran is warning that a 9th wave of attacks against Israel is now underway and will continue until dawn. This is now the 5th night of attacks between the two countries. And just moments ago, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth posting on social media, and I quote, he said, "I directed the deployment of additional capabilities to the Middle East region." So what does that mean? Now we know that the U.S. Navy Nimitz carrier strike group is already heading towards the Middle East right now, and more U.S. naval assets capable of defending against ballistic missiles are expected to be moving into the eastern Mediterranean, closer to Israel in these next coming days. The latest Iranian attacks coming after the IDF released these new images of Israel destroying what it says are...
And so what Candace Owens posted, she had said that Donald Trump just completely fractured his base, and he did it for everyone. He did it for the very neocons who minted the Never Trump movement. Truly unbelievable. So he's talking about this whole thing because Trump and Tucker Carlson are having like some type of beef now too. F with the bull, you get the horn. Thank you, Grandpa Barney. Thank you for the 10. You have this here where somebody please explain to kooky Tucker Carlson Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And I think Tucker's stance on it is he just doesn't want to be like involved in these foreign situations and foreign wars. So I think he disagrees with Trump on that. This guy here said, I agree with you, Candace, but I think Trump is playing strategically to keep the American people safe from war. He's not going to tell the enemy what he's really thinking. It's in his character. No, he's not. He's attacking Tucker Carlson because Tucker named his donors who are supporting this war. He took $100 million from Miriam Edelson. She wants war in Iran, Gaza, and to annex the West Bank in return. Uh-oh. Damn Brazilian.
2 Iranian fighter jets. And earlier today, an unbelievable moment unfolded live on Iranian state television. Let me show it to you.
Oh yeah, this is what we just watched. Bro, this was crazy. So they had this whole thing. What do you guys think? So I guess she was doing a news broadcast and there's like a whole building or something blowing up behind her.
I mean, it's stunning to even watch that. Israel hit the headquarters of Iran state media. Now, the IDF said that this wasn't a mistake. They said it was a precise strike based on intelligence that the building was being used for military purposes. Now, an Iranian source sent me these letters that Iran sent to the Secretary General of the UN and the UN Security Council earlier today, in which Iran demands immediate action following what it calls Israel's, quote, deliberate attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities. And the letter goes on to demand that the UN, quote, hold Israel and its accomplices fully accountable. Now, the accomplices, the use of that word is a very thinly veiled reference to the United States. But while the U.S., of course, backs Israel at this point, clearly the two countries are not entirely on the same page, as sources tell CNN, that President Trump opposed an Israeli plan to assassinate the supreme leader. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu refused to take that option off the table today.
It's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict.
Yeah, so they're just openly talking about eliminating supreme leader on TV and stuff, doing interviews. Wow. I would think that, okay, let's keep that down on wraps. Let's talk about it behind the scenes. No, it's just like an open thing. Okay.
Lauren Lieberman is out front in Tel Aviv to begin our coverage. And Oren, what is the latest that you're learning? As we understand it, Iran is saying that missiles will be coming to where you are from now all the way till dawn.
Well, we at least got some sense of that. Just a short while ago, we had to run to the bomb shelter downstairs in the hotel about 1 hour ago, where we spent 20 minutes there because of warnings of more incoming, including here to Tel Aviv in the heart of Israel. At least according to Israel's emergency responders so far, like Magen David Adom, there were no impacts, so either those missiles were intercepted or weren't able to strike the targets and hit in either military or residential areas. That being said, it's 2 in the morning here, so there are at least 4 or 5 hours until dawn, and we saw missiles incoming at about 4 in the morning last night. So there's very much the potential for more ballistic missiles and more drones as the night goes on here. Meanwhile, as you pointed out, Israel has continued its strikes in Iran and in Tehran. In addition to hitting Iran's state broadcaster, they took out 2 aircraft on the ground and have continued to go after other targets as well. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said so far Israel's strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities have set the nuclear program back many, many years. He wouldn't give a specific number on anything like that, how much they really have damaged the nuclear program. But Israel's former defense minister told CNN earlier today that it was some years that they had set the program back. Meanwhile, there are rising casualties on both sides, 24 killed so far in Israel. Meanwhile, a much higher death toll in Iran, 224 killed there. And it doesn't look like this is going away anytime soon. Iran has vowed it will not negotiate under attack. Meanwhile, Netanyahu spoke of what he called, quote, complete victory. That is a phrase we've heard in the war in Gaza, which is past 600 days now. And this fight, although it's incredibly early here, shows no sign of an off-ramp right now, no matter.
Okay. So the other thing too, and this is in the title, I thought this was kind of crazy, I guess, to see. Thank you so much for the super chat. MTO, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Tina, thank you for the 10-2. I almost wasn't even going to come on, but I just kept getting notifications and kept getting like DMs, and I'm like, let me just come on, man, because I don't know, there's a lot of people. But they've been saying World War III for a long time, but this situation is pretty bad. It's escalated. But it says local reports say hundreds of inmates have escaped a prison in Tehran. Check this out. Let's see the other video. This guy's driving by. No audio. You can see all these people, looks like on a highway, freeway type of thing, running. I guess take advantage while you can. Everybody's getting out running. Chaos. Who knows what kind of prisoners got out and escaped, or if there's even going to be an effort to get them back. Probably not priority for these people,
خدای مگه اینجا چه زندانیه تو اینجا؟
زندانی بوده.
Oh man, that's not good. Mass amount of people are fleeing Tehran after President Trump's warning to evacuate immediately. They clearly don't think he's bluffing. Damn. One tweet could cause so much havoc. Thousands of people evacuated. They're probably jailed for memes. Insane, man. So they were saying here, breaking, U.S. President Donald Trump has directed members of his team to attempt a meeting with Iranian officials as quickly as possible, according to a person familiar with the matter and a U.S. official, as he urgently works to determine whether Tehran is serious about diplomacy to resolve its conflict with Israel. So I wonder if Trump said this to kind of like really get all these people scared and moving and try to really work a deal out. Trump has directed members to attempt a meeting with Iranian officials quick as possible. Since Israel launched its first wave of missile attacks last week, the president maintained publicly that Iran should come
U.S.
to the table.
carriers and refueling planes en route. Kurds in Iraq have been activated. Iran FAFO'd big time.
I saw some tweet earlier today too, which I pulled up. They said like some nuclear sniffing planes or something. I have to pull it up. Were also flying up in the air. Something about some bombs, nuke planes or something. I have to look that up. So, in conversations with the European leaders at the G7 summit in Canada, Trump told his counterparts that discussions were underway to obtain a ceasefire, even though they're saying that wasn't happening. I don't know what's really happening between Israel and Iran, and signaled he wanted U.S. officials to meet with their Iranian counterparts this week. A U.S. official told CNN that while nothing was set, Israel and Iran were moving in the right direction. Trump acknowledged that the Iranians had been in touch through intermediaries earlier Monday. I don't know what kind of communications they're having, because it doesn't seem like things are going great for a deal. We had a nuclear deal with Iran that he pulled us out of. Yeah, there was a deal. We did pull out of it. Trump said supposedly it wasn't a good deal. I don't know how that works out, though, how you can strong arm somebody if they're not in a deal, because there's no current nuclear deal. I guess we're just, for the safety of everybody around, I guess they're saying they can't have a nuke because they're going to blow everything out of the way if they don't blow themselves up first. But where are they going? That's true. Where are they going? Another post moments ago by Trump. He's on a roll right now. America first means many great things, including the fact that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Make America great again. Wish he could have been this way in Russia. So the whole internet's in a tizzy. People don't like this whole Tucker beef that they're having. Trump and Tucker Carlson. China's not calling its citizens to leave Israel immediately. Phew. Iran should have signed the deal. Evacuate immediately. A freaking mess. Here's more with the Tucker beef.
They've been talking about this deal for 6 years, right? 6 years. And he's done what they haven't been able to do. So he's done really a very good job. I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen. Thank you. They've been talking about this deal for 6 years, right? 6 years. And he's done what they haven't been able to do. So he's done really a very good job. I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen.
To be fair, though, he doesn't need he's done really good, I think. I think Tucker's been doing really good. I've always liked them. I guess they're having their beef just like, Elon and Trump had their beef. This was earlier, too. Multiple explosions have occurred at Iran's Natanz nuclear facility. Oh, this is the sniffer thing. I got to look this up, too. Breaking top PCT-29 nuclear sniffer plane is in the air. This was earlier. I thought that was kind of interesting. A WC-135R Constant Phoenix has just taken off from Omaha. Home of U.S. Strategic Command is now flying unusual orbits over the northern U.S. I gotta find out, see what's going on with this, if that's really true. I saw something about that earlier today, too. People were talking about it, but U.S. Air Force has deployed a WC-135, nicknamed Constant Phoenix. Yeah. A modified Boeing C-135 used by the U.S. Air Force to collect air samples to detect radioactive particles from nuclear detonations and reactor events, known as a nuke sniffer. I didn't even know they had that. Nuke sniffing planes? Wow. So I guess they collect air samples. Okay. No, I'm trying to find out if this was today. I don't see anything about today, though. It is an aircraft, and there's things that do that, but I don't know if this actually happened today. Oh, yeah, he has a map thing here, though. The flight on June 16 was likely airborne, as flight data shows a scheduled departure from Omaha. Its role in detecting nuclear activity aligns with recent Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear sites, suggesting a possible monitoring mission. However, similar flights have been in routine training or collaboration, and no official U.S. Air Force statements confirms its purpose. Okay. It was also flying on these days this month, so they pulled up on June 12th and June 16th. Lindsey Graham. This guy seems to love wars. Let's see.
Chapter on the largest state sponsor of terrorism in modern history. We got a chance to end a threat to the state of Israel forever by replacing this regime with something better. And I do believe the biggest winner of the Ayatollah leaving would be the Iranian people. So pray for our troops in harm's way. There are risks associated.
I think he even has a name. Capitol Hill's unofficial chairman of Bombs First, Talk Later. Jeez.
With any operation. They join the military to keep their country safe and to make the world a better place. And taking on the Ayatollah does both. To our friends in Israel, we have your back. We're praying for success. You've tolerated too much too long into the world. You have normalized trying to kill the Jews. When Israel's attacked, nobody says a word about it. If France were attacked, what would the French do? What would we do? So the days of the expecting
There's
Israel
a reporting
to sit
of a
on the
2.5
sideline.
earthquake located in Iran by a nuclear bunker.
Ooh, that's pretty wild. Thank you, Brandon, for the 5. Appreciate it. I'm going to take a look into that while we're watching this. And Justin, thank you for the 5 earlier, too. I think I remember, too, in North Korea when they were doing some type of like nuclear test or something underground. I thought it was like some earthquake back in the day that went off.
And not go to the heart of the beast are over. Take this regime down, make the world a better place.
Well, they took themselves down. Donald Trump, I mean, God bless him. He's given them every opportunity. Look what he was able to pull off with India and Pakistan as that situation was heating up. Pretty remarkable.
Crazy. This was interesting, too. I found this just before I came on. Breaking previously unknown Iranian nuclear facility spanning 2,500 acres. Just picked up by satellite imagery.
Exclusive satellite images revealing the location of a previously unknown Iranian nuclear site. Now, the facility spans nearly 2,500 acres, and this is a big discovery. Jillian Turner has more from the State Department. Good morning, Jillian.
Pretty explosive, Dana. These satellite images that we have obtained exclusively show the alleged site location and even the layout of the secret, previously unknown nuclear weapons facilities inside Iran. This, of course, raises fresh concerns about the regime's role in these ongoing nuclear talks with the Trump administration. The National Council of Resistance of Iran has collected intelligence from sources on the ground inside Iran that locate this nuclear weapons facility in what is called Semnan province, far from the regime's already known nuclear sites. It's codenamed the Rainbow Site by Iran's official.
The Rainbow Site? What?
Named the Rainbow Site by Iran's officials, and it spans nearly 2,500 acres. It's been operating as far.
Wow. So now they're saying there's supposedly some type of new, unknown Iranian nuclear facility. That's 2,500 acres. Just picked. I don't know how they didn't notice this before. It said here, how convenient somehow our intel missed 2,500 acre nuclear site. Now that some people want us to go to war, surprise. I'm old enough to remember WMDs. It does feel like that a bit, right? Like, oh, there's weapons of mass destruction. We gotta go. We gotta destroy. We gotta attack. Why they call that shit the Rainbow Site? I don't know. I feel like I don't think those Iranians would call any kind of nuclear facility the Rainbow. The Rainbow Site. The Rainbow Site. Okay. Maybe that's how they got past the military with that code name. All of U.S. military. This is a new post. All U.S. military bases throughout the Indo-Pacific region have officially raised their force protection condition from Alpha to Bravo, indicating credible threats and prompting enhanced security measures across all installations. Below are the official charts detailing the various levels of force protection conditions. I didn't even know that. What this is here. FPCON Delta. So what are we? We're raised to from Alpha to Bravo. Okay. Alpha to Bravo applies when an increase or more predictable threat of terrorist activity exists. Sustaining Bravo measures for a prolonged period may affect operational capabilities and relations with local authorities. The next would be FPCON Charlie applies when an incident occurs or intelligence is received indicating some form of terrorist action or targeting against personnel or facilities is likely. Implementation of Charlie measures will create hardship and affect the activities of the unit and its personnel. And then FPCON Delta applies in the immediate area where a terrorist attack has occurred or when intelligence has received that terrorist action against a specific location or person is imminent. Normally, this FPCON is declared as a localized condition. FPCON Delta measures are not intended to be sustained for substantial periods. Somebody asked Grok, is this concerning? This is concerning. The escalation from force protection condition Alpha to Bravo across the U.S. military bases in the Indo-Pacific region suggests a credible threat. Interesting. But from where? From who? I don't trust countries who don't eat bacon. That's what somebody said. That's my stance on this conflict. The New York Times is reporting that President Donald Trump is weighing in on a critical condition amid the escalating 4-day war between Israel and Iran, whether to directly intervene by assisting Israel in striking Iran's deeply buried nuclear enrichment facility at Fordo, a site so fortified that only U.S. bunker buster bombs deployed by American B-2 stealth bombers are capable of reaching it. Bunker busters. I think I've seen like video of that. And there's, should be like a good image. Bunker busters. They go straight into the ground. Yeah, the stealth bomber drops it.
Bravo, not a big deal. Nothing changes on base other than ID checks.
Thank you, Island. Thank you for the 5. Okay. So she says just the ID change. Bunker busters. Bunker targeted by B-2 stealth bomber. Drops. Big blue high explosive bomb released and guided to the target by GPS satellite. Tungsten tipped warhead enables bomb to punch through solid rock. High explosive detonation shatters reinforced concrete bunker. Depth of penetration 200 feet. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty. 200 feet. Here's Pete Hegseth. Response to escalation with Iran says United States is getting into a defensive position. We are postured defensively in the region to be strong in pursuit of a peace deal. We're vigilant, we're prepared, we've messaged consistently from the beginning.
After October 7th in Syria, we stayed at Charlie for most of the deployment because of small arms, drones and rockets. I'd still go back TBH.
Really?
So you're going to be in the Situation Room pretty soon with the president. Is he still aiming for a nuclear deal with the Iranians?
Of course. The president's, as he said today, his position has not changed. What you're watching in real time is peace through strength and America first. Our job is to be strong. We are postured defensively in the region to be strong in pursuit of a peace deal. And we certainly hope that's what happens here. And America first means we're going to defend American personnel and American interests. So when you see jets and you see air defense assets and counter UAS assets, that's because my job as the Secretary of Defense is to ensure that our people are safe and that we're strong so that we can set the conditions for a deal. And President Trump's made it clear it's on the table. The question is whether Iran will take it.
All right. So the deal is still on the table, but all options are on the table from what it sounds like. What does that look like?
What it looks like right now is we're vigilant. We're prepared. And we've messaged consistently from the beginning that we're in the region to defend our people and our assets. And Israel took an action out of self-defense. We believe that Iran, as President has said from the beginning, should not have a nuclear weapon. That position hasn't changed. They can give it up peacefully. That position hasn't changed. And as a result, right now, we've got assets in the region and we're going to defend them. And we're going to be strong in the process. So people are reading into a lot of aspects right now. We're strong. We're prepared. We're defensive. And President Trump hopes there can be peace.
You shoot. Oh, no. You loot. We shoot. Kind of. I don't know. Are people overreacting with this mass exodus? The quartering here said, he said, this does not mean Trump is going to strike Iran. It just means he knows Israel is going to again. I have faith that Trump hears his base and that we say no war. I know it's getting increasingly more lonely in the hopium crowd, but on war, Trump has been clear. He has. I mean, we'll have to see. Got Hegseth way already. Senator Mark Kelly suggests he would support the United States attacking Iran to take out its underground nuclear facilities, but he says he'd rather see a deal made through negotiations.
Would you support if the U.S. decided to strike Iran directly, even if U.S. forces have not been attacked?
Really, Caleb? I got to look that up.
In order to try to actually eliminate the plant at Fordo and Natanz.
I mean, you know, I would like to see Iran's nuclear capability to be completely disarmed. It is a tough problem. You would have to hit those facilities, the underground facilities, with GBU-57s. You know, the massive ordnance penetrator. It's a 5,000-pound weapon. The Israelis, not only do they not have the weapon, they don't have the ability to deliver it, even if they did have it, you know, at this point. So, Anderson, this is a complicated problem. I think it's going to be hard. Even once you try to strike something that's underground, they can rebuild it. You know, my view on this is ultimately if you wanted to completely eliminate the ability for them to get to someday down the line, get to a nuclear weapon, you'd have to remove the uranium-235, the uranium hexafluoride gas, which is what you first put into the centrifuges. You'd have to destroy all the centrifuges. That would take a capability that, in my view, the Israelis currently do not have. I don't want to see this escalate. I think maybe there's a scenario here in the next couple days, or maybe in a week or so, that the Iranians would agree to come to some sort of negotiated settlement to get us back to a point where they are not going to continue to develop a nuclear weapon, and we can do it in a way that's verifiable.
Senator Markelly, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
So they're saying a couple of posts, because people are saying here, somebody here said, I didn't think I'd have to clarify this, but the post no way indicates that U.S. are about to strike Iran. Israel just said they're going to strike Tehran again, so Trump said, get out. The hysteria is out of control. I do feel like it was kind of vague. Somewhat vague. To me, if I see this shit, I don't know. If I'm on Tehran, I'm getting out. I'm getting out. Some people are saying he's just saying, all right, Israel's going to attack again. You guys get out while you can. So American forces are maintaining their defensive posture, and that has not changed. So Sean Parnell posted, we will protect American troops and our interest. Nick Fuentes said Trump has turned on Tucker Carlson and claims that America First can also mean bombing Iran for Israel. This is exactly why I didn't vote for Trump in 2024, and we chose to stay home, even though I was relentlessly attacked for it. That was Nick Fuentes. What a mess. No, wait, Obama funded Iran's nuclear program?
The United States and Iran are now settling a long-standing Iranian government claim against the United States government. Iran will be returned its own funds, including appropriate interest, but much less than the amount Iran sought. For the United States, this settlement could save us billions of dollars that could have been pursued by Iran, so there was no benefit to the United States in dragging this out. The United States and Iran are now settling a long-standing Iranian government claim against the United States government. Iran will be returned its own funds.
So they're saying here, in 2015, under Obama, the U.S. and the world powers signed an Iran nuclear deal. The deal lifted the economic sanctions in exchange for Iran limiting its nuclear program. Okay, I see. And submitting to international inspections. Sounds very familiar. As part of this, the U.S. released approximately 100 to 150 billion of Iran's own previously frozen assets. So you kind of did. That is what it is. So it seems like to me. I mean, unless they use it to build their cities and roads and education. Yeah, I don't know, right? As part of this, the U.S. released approximately 100 to 150 billion. The Obama administration also paid 1.7 billion to Iran to settle its decades-old legal dispute over an arms deal before 1979 revolution. Dom says, we're going to war, I'm done. They've been saying this for years. I don't want war. I really don't want war. What do they know that we don't? Why President Trump's recent remarks about multiple countries now urging evacuations, there are growing indications that something deeply seriously may be unfolding. While it's possible this could turn out to be nothing major, the current signals suggest otherwise. This is not posturing. This is the threshold phase before systemic detonation. Let's strip away the noise and go straight to the structural decoding. Wow.
Revealing the
something ain't right. Something stinks. The BBC is now reporting that social media has become the primary source of news. In the United States, research suggests, oh snap. Moved on. Okay, let's see.
All right, welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mank. We have some breaking news right now in terms of President Trump and the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran. I want to put this up here on Live Now from Fox from Truth Social. The president saying Iran should have signed the deal I told them to sign. What a shame and waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a...
Someone here posted it and it's kind of going viral. If President Trump gets us involved in another war, he'll lose half of his base. I have no problem with Israel dealing with Iran on their own terms. Bomb away, don't care. That's between them. I have a huge effing problem with the U.S. getting involved. No more wars. FFS. Tucker Carlson says, that was 10 hours ago, but if Trump gets the U.S. involved in Iran, it would precipitate the downfall of the American empire and effectively end his presidency. AOC responded to this guy, too. This guy said, Thomas Massey, this is not our war. But if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to our Constitution. Uh-oh. So AOC says she's signing on. Brian Krassenstein said he's signing on. Oh, Lord. Thomas Massey plus AOC in the ticket to save America. Thomas Massey. It's unconstitutional for Trump to go to war without a vote in Congress. Uh-oh. So they're getting worked up, too. They're getting upset about this. Everybody's on high alert tonight. Jesus. The IDF made a post, too. Let me see here. The IDF.
What if your biggest enemy had a plan named and aimed at your annihilation? Israel doesn't have to imagine. Iran has a plan based around their existing ballistic missile capabilities and their accelerating process to obtain nuclear bombs. A plan that will threaten millions of innocent civilians, and a plan that doesn't stop with us, because they're not.
Oh, Russia, I forgot too. Russia apparently ordered its citizens to leave Israel immediately. So China and Russia told these people to get out. Breaking, 8 U.S. senators introduced bill to prevent United States from entering war with Iran. Oh, Lord, Bernie Sanders got involved too. Bernie.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit. I like that.
Tonight, I introduced legislation to stop Trump from leading us into an illegal war with Iran. Another war in the Middle East could cost countless lives, waste trillions of more dollars, and lead to even more deaths, more conflict, and more displacement. Boy, oh boy. Senators, unite! Okay. I guess we'll see, man. I don't know. It's been kind of escalating out there. I wonder if has he tweeted anything else? I feel like he should have maybe tweeted something else. You know, like, I don't know. Hey, we're not blowing you up or something. Trump. He said that shit and went to bed, and everybody, the whole world went crazy. The whole world went crazy. Now, I don't think this guy sleeps, though. I don't think Trump sleeps, but. No, the last thing he said was a Tucker Carlson post. Tucker Carlson claimed that he abandoned America First, I guess. I rest my case. Tucker Carlson has no principles. He's just an opportunist who's reportedly funded by Qatar. What? But I don't know. Trump got the Qatar plane too, right? Didn't he get a Boeing plane or something? Okay, Tucker Carlson versus Tucker Carlson. on Iran, 2006.
I'm just struck by that in everything you see come from the government of Iran, there is anti-Semitism, which has got to be among the most off-putting things in the Western world. You know, I think what you say is you either stop your nuclear program or we will bring down an earthquake upon you using God's wrath. I do think, I'm sure I'm the lone voice in saying this, I think Iran deserves to be annihilated. I think they're lunatics. I think they're evil.
Netanyahu says, no, we need to bomb the hell out of them. We need to defeat them like we defeated Saddam and Assad and Gaddafi. We need to take out this evil regime. That's his line.
So it's not about nukes, what you're saying. You're saying it's not about nukes, it's about regime change.
I think for sure.
Ex-Fox News host blasts complicit president for backing Israel after attacks in Iran. He says the real divide isn't between people who support Israel and people who support Iran or the Palestinians. The real divide is between those who casually encourage violence and those who seek to prevent it. Between warmongers and peacemakers. Who are the warmongers? They would include anyone who is calling Donald Trump today to demand airstrikes and other direct U.S. military involvement in the war with Iran.
Wow. That's interesting. I mean, I know people's opinions change. I don't think Tucker's gone hard on him either. I don't know if he said more than this. I guess they just disagree, you know. But it's interesting to see his past comments on it because he was all for bomb them, they're evil, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Because this could be the most consequential thing.
So 2 fallouts already. Elon, I wonder if they've made up Elon and Trump.
Where was the uproar when Obama sent troops to Syria without Congress declaring war?
Well, it's Trump, so you know. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Marjorie Taylor Greene's actually taking a stance, I guess, with the whole beef with Tucker and Trump. Thank you for the 5, Thomas. Tucker Carlson is one of my favorite people. He fiercely loves his wife, children, and our country. Since being fired by the neocon network Fox News, he has more popularity and viewers than ever before. He unapologetically believes the same things I do, that if we don't fight for our own country and our own people, then we will no longer have a country for our children and our grandchildren. And foreign wars, intervention, regime changed, put America last, kill innocent people, and are making us broke, and ultimately lead to our destruction. That's not kooky. That's what millions of Americans voted for. It's what we believe is America first. Oh, snap. Oh, Lord. Trump attacking his base for wanting peace is crazy as hell. Somebody call, please explain to Kooky Tucker Carlson that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I don't think he was attacking his base. You guys think that? I don't think he was attacking his base. This whole thing is blown out of proportion. I don't know. So I guess people are having to pick sides, I guess. I mean, I do feel like that tweet kind of insinuated, almost. It was somewhat ambiguous. I mean, to me, it feels like something imminent was coming to evacuate, but now they're trying to say, well, he didn't mean that we're going to strike them, that Israel's going to strike or something. You know, I don't know. And we're just out there protecting our bases. And I do agree, though. I said this earlier. I do think Tucker, he's gotten even bigger, I think, and more popularity. I think he's doing great. I don't really think he needed Fox. I mean, I'm sure it helped in his career, but does he necessarily need him now? I don't think so. Marjorie! MTG the GOAT. Sorry, MTG. I like most of your positions, but abandoning trust in Trump's leadership is not helpful nor wise. Only causes further division. Well, I'm sure the outside is looking at this and like, yes, yes, right? Like, yes, they're divided. They're having in-house fighting. There's separation. Blah blah blah. I feel like this thing so far with Trump and Carlson is not really. I mean, they're making it a big thing, but I don't think it's that. I think the Elon Musk thing was huge. I think Elon Musk really put his foot out there. That was reach. That was crazy. You know, so that's why I was like, okay, well, let's put the files out, the Epstein files, because you're going to say something like that. This is kind of like some spat back and forth, disagreements, but I guess people are having to pick a side. And Trump did campaign, I believe, not on war. We're not going to get involved. I thought, not get in war. So I don't know. But that tweet set off a bomb. Literally, that's what we see here. Live footage of President Trump's approval rating. Let's see. Is it going to crash or no? It's just going. Okay, I thought it was going to have a crash or something. Brother, if you can't see the massive blowback is getting on X right now, you're effing blind or ignorant. Yeah, no, I can see it. There is blowback for sure. That's why I feel like you should have sent something else out after, some other message. But maybe he's being ambiguous on purpose. Like maybe that's part of the deal, or not part of the deal, part of the negotiations. Not showing your deck of cards, not showing what you're playing with. Maybe this is all part of negotiating and scaring these people, I don't know, into some type of deal. And stopping this war situation. That's if Netanyahu's going to listen to Trump.
President, came in on why you're leaving the G7 early for Washington.
Well, I have to be back. Very important. I want to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you.
I got to go.
But you probably see what I see, and I have to be back as soon as I can. I'm going to have dinner with these wonderful leaders, and then I get on the plane. I have to be back early.
Have you talked to the National Security Council?
I loved it. I tell you, I loved it. And I think we got a lot done. Really a lot done. In fact, UK, we signed a big trade deal today, and we're working on others.
Yeah, that's the question, right? I don't think he would attack either directly, but yeah, is he going to supply them with weapons, like those bunker bust or the other, whatever the other missile was, the bomb to penetrate the ground? Well, they said they don't even have the way to carry that. That's the problem too. They don't have a way to carry those bombs, so would it have to be the U.S. carrying the bombs for them and dropping it? It's basically attacking them. I don't know.
But we had just a really great relationship with everybody, and it's really nice. I wish I could stay for tomorrow, but they understand.
Is there a reason,
big,
Mr. President,
this is big stuff.
President came in on why you're leaving the G7 early for Washington?
Well, I have to be back.
I gotta go. I got other shit to do.
Important. I want to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you. In Canada.
I guess we'll see tomorrow what he says about this, unless he says more tonight. Let me do another check. He's always been consistent. Okay, here's Laura Loomer. So Laura Loomer's holding Trump down. To Iranian president, this is a post from 2018. To Iranian President Rouhani, never ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer the consequences, the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. We're no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. Be cautious. Yo, imagine he said some shit like that now. Woo! Wow, I never saw that before. I never saw that tweet. Damn. What is it? This is what's going to bring world peace. When is GTA 6 coming out? We can all play this shit together. What's going on? French President Macron says Trump made move to ceasefire between Israel and Iran. There needs to be an investigation into the Iranian spy rings embedded in our intelligence agencies and the State Department. The U.S. shares intelligence with Israel. The only reason why we would have a different report on Iranian nuclear capabilities compared to Israel is if we have active spies in our intelligence. This is a major national security threat. We have Iranian spies in our government who are holdovers from the Biden admin. This is another post. This is from 2011. Iran's quest for nuclear weapons is a major threat to our nation's national security interests. We can't allow Iran to go nuclear. The people who are complaining now have no idea what it means to be MAGA. Many of them are Johnny come late grifters. Damn! Who want to co-opt our movement into a modern day youth. Hitler youth. We will not let them do that. Okay. Interesting. I know we haven't had a gaming night in a while. There's a new Resident Evil coming out that's supposed to be really freaking good. Resident Evil, I don't know what it's called. Is it 9 or something? I don't know when it's coming out. 2026. We're not gonna make it to 2026. February 2026. What? Wow. That's a long time. Yeah, she is. Thrifts, you're right. She is Jewish. Laura Loomer.
Do you think Islam is at war with the West?
I think Islam hates us. There's something there that there's a tremendous hatred there. There's a tremendous hatred. We have to get to the bottom of it. There is an unbelievable hatred of us.
In Islam itself?
Requiem, yeah.
You're going to have to figure that out, okay? You'll get another Pulitzer, right? But you're going to have to figure that out. But there is a tremendous hatred. And we have to be very vigilant. We have to be very careful. And we can't allow people coming into this country who have this hatred of the United States.
I guess the question is...
And of people that are not Muslim.
I guess the question is there a war between the West and radical Islam, or is there a war between the West and Islam
It's
itself?
radical, but it's very hard to define. It's very hard to separate because you don't know who's...
Do you think...
I don't know who's who. Oh, here's another video of the prisoners. I haven't seen this video. This one's a little bit better quality of the prisoners that escaped. They're celebrating tonight. Thank you, Trump! Wow. Wow. Look at that. Oh my god. Damn. Still going too. They're running on the road. Chaos, but the way they're dressed, I mean, I don't know how they dress out there. They're all in the same, like, light blue scrubs, I guess. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, oof. Looks like California. Right?
I heard multiple ships on fire in the Middle East. This
Really?
true?
I don't know. Let me take a look. I haven't heard of anything like that, but let me take a look. Middle East. Somebody posted not news organizations, but yeah, there's a couple of pages posting that. The thing is, sometimes a lot of stuff comes out, like they were saying, on social media first, and then the news kind of picks it up later, after hours. But they're saying it, yes. It says multiple ships reportedly on fire off the coast of Iran.
Asia is really heating up. Ukraine versus Russia, India versus Pakistan, Israel versus Iran, the Houthis, Hamas. It won't be long before these conflicts create WW3.
Yeah. Thanks, Scoop, for the fight. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like we're closer to that. Like, this is a crazy ass escalation, with Israel and these other countries. Multiple ships reportedly on fire. It says Ambry, a global maritime risk management company, states that they are aware of an incident on the Gulf of Oman in the United Arab Emirates. Fires broke out on 3 ships, oil tankers, in the waters of the Gulf of Oman. It's got to be intentional, right? 3 ships on fire? Was that some type of attack? Reports PIQ. Haven't heard of that page before. PIQ. Let me check them out. PIQ, sweet. Okay, maybe I'll follow this page. Oh, breaking news page. Oh, it's a platform. I never heard of that before. Okay. Photos currently circulating which appear to show 3 ships on fire off the coast of Iran. Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence, right? 3 ships. Yeah, everybody's starting to talk about it. I'm sure by the morning time you'll see the news talk about this. Wow. Based on the location of this fire, it is possible one of the ships is the vessel Tonel. Oh, thanks to tanker trackers. Oh, they have these websites and pages that track these tankers. Okay. Trusted maritime insurers, oil producers, and traders finance. Okay. No other tankers appear to be on the map, possibly a military vessel otherwise. Yeah, what is going on out there? The ship appears to be inside an anchorage area east of Emirati city of Khor Fakkan. Far as probably a local incident. That's from 2024. Interesting. Vin Slave, thank you for the tag. Said, think we think we have the only delivery assist for really nasty bombs. Let me just take a look at that picture. So what you sent me, dang. So there's the picture, tagged me in. And this thing, it was introduced, it's called the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress. Dang, a long-range subsonic strategic bomber used by the United States Air Force. Introduced in 1955, wingspan 185 feet, 8 turbojets. Damn, I didn't even realize that. 8 turbojets mounted in pairs under each wing. The crew is 5. It's 5 crew: pilot, co-pilot, weapons officer, electronic warfare officer, tail gunner. Range 8,800 miles without refueling. That's incredible. Payload up to 70,000 pounds of bombs, missiles, and nuclear weapons. Nickname Buff, big, ugly, fat fellow. Or, the other F word. Big, ugly, fat Fuck. Wow. Designed in the Cold War for nuclear deterrence, still active today for conventional bombing, cruise missile delivery, and global power projection. Damn. Many military planes over the Gulf right now. That's old. Flying that thing's got to be crazy. 3 ships on fire. Wow. Like Fuentes live on Rumble. BB, I don't understand America first. I don't understand America. Well,
it's Tel Aviv. Tomorrow it's New York.
So he's saying
it's Tel Aviv. Tomorrow it's New York. I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind.
They do. That's true. But I don't know the history where that stems. It's probably from all the intervention. But yeah, I don't know. They do hate us.
Of humanity. And it's a battle of good against evil. America should and does stand with the good. That's what President Trump is doing. And I deeply appreciate his support.
John Carl joins me now. So, John, what else did he say about President Trump and how he wants the U.S. to play a role here? Or did he?
Well, look, he praised President Trump over and over again in this interview. He knows that he needs the United States support, at least in terms of doing what the U.S. is doing now, which is helping Israel defend itself from those retaliatory attacks from Iran. So it was all couched in a thank you, President Trump. You've been Israel's best friend, but he made it clear that he would like to see more. He didn't come out and directly say it in those ways, but what you heard, what you played right there, I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. He is really speaking to those in the Trump movement, those in the MAGA movement who are adamantly opposed to the United States getting involved in another Middle East conflict. And as you know, Kira, there are some prominent voices, supporters, outside advisors of Donald Trump who are saying, don't get involved. The United States can't be involved. You campaigned against forever wars. People like Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk. Those are, close supporters of Donald Trump who are saying that they don't think the United States should be involved in this. And Netanyahu, it seemed to me, by using their language, I understand America first, I don't understand America dead, was speaking directly to Donald Trump and to his supporters who are critical of what Israel is doing.
Sounds like a tight spot to be in. The Rockwell B-12 Lancer, that's what Alan was talking about. This thing, long-range supersonic strategic bomber, introduced in 1986. Damn, this one even has a heavier payload, I think, over 75,000 pounds. Largest conventional payload of any bomber. So 4 crew, aircraft, pilot, co-pilot, 2 weapon systems officers, 4 GE F101, GE 102 afterburning turbofans. That looks dope. Yeah. Swing wing design. Wings sweep for airspeed or extend for range. Precision strikes with JDAMs and cruise missiles. High-speed penetration into defended airspace. Low altitude. Napper the earth flying. Able to deploy nuclear conventional munitions. Though currently nuclear rule is deactivated. Interesting. That looks really nice. Yeah, that's a really cool looking plane. Oh, this is what dozens of warplanes are now en route to the Middle East. So I don't know. They're saying that I don't know. They're saying that we're going there to defend what's ours. I guess our bases and our whatever. But there's still a lot going on. Dozens of U.S. warplanes. Oh boy. I mean, that doesn't sound good.
Congresswoman Green, you have been a voice of reason and America first.
Wait. Matt Gaetz is he has a show, the Matt Gaetz show? What the I didn't know that. He's on OAN American News Net. I didn't know he was on. What the hell? I was tripped out for a second. Like, wait a minute, he's a reporter? Or he's doing his podcast thing? Or
policy? Tell us how you see this conflict between Israel and Iran.
Matt, I see it just as you do, and you laid that out so well. That's the America First message, but it's also the truth that the American people have woken up to. We've watched for decades propaganda news. I'll call out Fox News and the New York Post. They're known to be the neocon network news. We have propaganda news on our side, just like the left does. And the American people have been brainwashed.
Oh, yeah, he like stepped down, right? Stepped out. So, yeah, he has a show since December 2024. Okay, I didn't know that.
Into believing that America has to engage in these foreign wars in order for us to survive. And it's absolutely not true. Prime Minister Netanyahu said, I saw on video, he said today that America first is America dead. And that sounds like a threat to me. And I completely disagree with him on that. In order for America to not be dead, it's to stay America first. And this is what the American people want. It is not anti-Semitic to say that we do not want to go to war against Iran or any other country. That is not anti-Semitic at all. It's actually rational, it's sane, and it's loving to people all over the world. A Middle Eastern war will
Well, at least we know the script for Top Gun 3. Tom Cruise up there now filming his Maverick scenes. Probably lol.
Oh, is he doing a... Yeah, I did hear Top Gun 3 gets key script update. I didn't realize he was doing another one. Yeah. 2026, potentially. Wow. Yeah, it's a classic movie.
America back 20 years, just like you showed in your intro for your show. It's exactly the lies that we were told after 9/11, and many people know it's not true. So I'm completely opposed to this.
The lies were told after 9/11.
Exactly the lies that we were 20 years just will pull America back 20 years, just like you showed in your intro for your show. It's exactly the lies that we were told after 9/11, and many people know it's not true. So I'm completely opposed to this war. Of course, we don't want to see the people in Israel bombed, but they're only being bombed because Israel attacked Iran first. And that's the truth that we need to be talking about. And Matt, I want to add on one more thing that I think is incredibly important, because Fox News and all these other news stations are not talking about it. Last week on Thursday, they held a vote in the Knesset, and Netanyahu only won by 2 votes, because the polling is showing that if an election was held today, he would lose. What he's doing is not popular among the people in Israel. They are tired of war. They are so devastated after October 7th. But they are tired of war. And that vote happened last Thursday. And then Friday, Israel attacked Iran. That's why the bombs are falling. And it seems very political. And you and I have seen those types of things before.
Yeah, man, it's really sad though. Like, so unfortunate, all these people, all the death and stuff. Take screens. Oh, yo, Laura's going in. Take screenshots of every right winger who is talking ish about Trump right now. Post them under this post. I have most of them. I don't know, this chick, she does crazy research. I was thinking too, like, I can't imagine like dating her, because she would be like probably crazy in the day. Like the research, she would be researching everything, your history, your family, everything, screenshots, video recording. She'd have a whole gallery, a whole iCloud for you, a new separate iCloud for you and stuff. Hidden cameras in the house. Wow. Imagine that, Lord. I don't think he should be beyond criticism either, though. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with people criticizing or having. I thought what Elon did was very over the top, and I feel like if you're going to say something like that, you need to back it up. So you're saying there's all this, and first of all, why are you cool with him? But then when you had a fight, you come up with all this Epstein stuff. Back it up and put it out there then. But people don't want to go to war. I understand that too. People don't want to go to war. They want to be involved in other countries and other situations. Oh shit! Somebody said found one. You're going to have to see the admin have a lot of regrets about some of their cabinet picks soon. Somebody said, F it. If Trump takes us to war, I'm done with him and his administration. I've voted for no wars, cheap gas, no taxes, cheap groceries, make America healthy again. I'm pissed. So there's this all-out war, I guess, happening on X, I guess. I remember back in the day, there was one Trump attack. I forgot. He ordered a missile. Oh, was it 2020? The U.S. claimed Soleimani was planning imminent attacks on American personnel. A drone strike near Baghdad airport was ordered by Trump. Major escalation with Iran leading to missile retaliation against you. I remember that, yeah. I remember back then, I think it was that time. I was like, oh shit, yo, he fired back. He fired a missile, but they didn't really do anything. I don't think anybody got hurt when they fired a base. They probably purposely missed. I think they hit something, but they didn't kill anybody when they fired back. Soleimani. So I guess we'll see, man. I guess we'll see what comes out of this fallout. We'll see if these people, Iran and Israel, can come to some type of deal. I don't know if it's going to happen because I don't know. Netanyahu seems to be very adamant about how he feels about and what exactly is that deal going to like? What like for the nuclear capabilities? Like what kind of deal are they working out? Breaking: White House is discussing with Iran the possibility of a meeting this week between U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Iranian Foreign Ministry Abbas Araghchi, according to 4 sources. So they're supposed to be having some type of meeting. He might need to go get his hands dirty. Trump, I don't know. Maybe he needs to meet these people in person. Alan Thrift, thank you for the fire. I remember voting Obama. What? Hold on. What?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit. I like that.
I remember voting Obama to get us out of the Middle East, only to have more deployments under him than Bush. You voted for Obama? Yeah, I talked about the 3 ships. I did mention the 3 ships a couple times. Hezbollah. All right, guys. I guess I'm going to head out for now. Thank you so much, though. We'll keep an eye and see. I covered the 3 ships. Reports these. So these are the Americans the American reports that are out now. Presidential decree very soon for the U.S. to go to war. There are also reports that the U.S. itself is already attacking Tehran. We saw the statement that he released right now. Iran should have signed the deal that I told them was a shame about the loss of human life. And notice, added both the White House Donald Trump's calculation. They made the sentence. When everyone needs to evacuate from Iran immediately, significant development in the coming hours that the Americans are behind them and are moving forces towards the Middle East, moving aircraft carriers and planes in general towards the Middle East, really to reinforce the forces and enter the war in a very official way. Very preliminary reports, really hope to correct them in the coming hours. So, my dear, you're not going to sleep today either. I never go to sleep. So much, so much. Wow. You know, Hero, so Libby, we need to know all the things accurately. No, I don't want 98%. We want 100%. This is what they're claiming. Based on the aircraft carrier deployment patterns and logistics data from past conflicts, what does the timeline of the U.S. military positioning suggest about the scale and duration of potential operations? The U.S. deployment of USS Carl Vinson and the USS Nimitz to the Middle East as of June 16 suggests potential for large-scale operations likely involving airstrikes, given each carrier's capacity for significant air power. Historical patterns like the Gulf's War 6 carrier deployment indicates such moves precede sustained campaigns over lasting months. Recent extensions of the USS Harry S. Truman's deployment of Nimitz rerouting a signal a commitment that would extend beyond typical 6-8 month rotations, possibly several months, depending on conflict escalation and diplomacy. Exact scale and duration remain unclear without official objectives. Wow. All right. Let's see. Thrift. Thank you so much for the 5. All right, guys, I guess that's it, man. You guys have a good night. Did more people come in? Oh, no, we're good. Okay, we're good. Thank you guys so much for tonight. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Be safe. Take care. Subscribe to the second page, please, too. Subscribe to iCkEdMeL Clips if you want different stories, updates, highlights. And you can always check out iCkEdMeL.com as well. All right, have a good night, guys. I had a couple of Jewish girlfriends. I didn't intentionally. It's just they just happen to be Jewish, I guess. Like 3 of them. So I don't know. I guess I got a thing for them. Maybe I don't know. All right, guys. Bye. Bloop, bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop.